Well, Gary, an extraordinary game. Your emotions after that?
Very tired, no doubt about that. Feel really drained. I probably don't feel like that for a long, long time in football. You know, I know I had a break for over 2 years before coming back in the game, but I think I might need another break for 2 years after watching that today. It was a sort of game which we knew could be very, very dangerous. A lot of people say that teams sitting in mid-table haven't got a lot to play for, but I think that all credit to Weston-super-Mare. They certainly came here today to make it very tough for us. They wasn't going to come here and beat the numbers in respect of us turning around and getting a goal route and making it, you know, easy for ourselves to get in the playoff spot. But, you know, we started off without doubt very stunned in respect to finding ourselves 1-0 down early on, and you know, as the first minute, and then you think to yourself, like, you know, the only good thing that's come out of it is a long way to go, and you know, we lost a little bit of discipline today and concentration. I put that down to nerves. I put that down to, you know, big occasions, as we all know. And all of a sudden we find ourselves 2-0 down, and you know, this situation we could have dealt with, we haven't. And you know, what do you do there? You have to turn around from a manager's point of view, and Steve Thompson from his point of view, and try and be as positive as we can, and try and get the boys to get back in the game and start. And pleased to say that we got a goal really at a very important time. Great ball in from Aswell Thomas, great header there from Craig Dobson, and as we know, it's put us back in the game. And you know, probably at that time against the run of the play, being fair to Weston, because you know, we find ourselves then equalising when on another day we could have been 3 or 4-1 down. You know, we just didn't get going early on. I put it down, as I say, to the nerves more than anything, because we haven't probably defended like that since I've been here. But a great goal from Moses, and coming at 2 each at half time, I felt more confident and relaxed that we could go on and win the game. And you know, I know it's hard for their players as well as our players when you've had a boiling hot weekend in respect of the weather, and players having to turn around and play 2 games in 2 days. But you know, the players have got to take a great deal of credit in respect of from being 2-0 down on a hot day on 20 minutes, finding themselves 3-2 up. When Elvis Hammond again got another great strike, lovely ball through from Michael Doughty, and I think to myself, well, that's it now. We're going to, you know, see them off, but you know, not to be. They just wouldn't roll over Weston, and you've got to give them credit, and every other club who was chasing playoff spots. They couldn't look at Weston today and think to themselves they come and make the numbers up. They were very professional. The management was to get a result, and you know, when it's 3 each, you're thinking then what can you go and do? What have you got to try and do here to pull the one out of their bag which would win the game? Because you know, we knew a draw wouldn't be no good to us today in respect of the other teams had got that better goal difference, and we'd be chasing. But you know, we've made 1 or 2 changes. I like to think, you know, positive changes, very bold. You know, I think Elvis Hammond's run himself into the ground over so many games, over so many weeks now for us for a long, long time. And Moses wasn't 100%, and you know, we made a couple of big changes, and the goal that won the game was probably as good as goal you'll see down here at Kingsfield for a long, long time. I think that any player, any level of football, would look at the execution of the goal from Andy Burgess and say it was worthy of winning the game, and it certainly was. But it still weren't over. You know, it still weren't over, and like as I say, at the moment, I'm very, very relieved and pleased that we've got the 3 points. But you know, I've seen another side of the football team today and the squad of players that they won't get beat. They don't believe in it now, which is a great, you know, compliment to them players, as I say. And I think from a neutral point of view, it's a tremendous game to watch, and probably for the Woking fans, when you know the final result at the end, you can go home and have your beers and everything, go, what a great game. I think, as I say, I'll probably just go home and go to bed, you know.
And presumably your heart must have sunk when you saw the board go up and 8 minutes left to play.
Well, being fair, I knew there was going to be a long time with the injury situation, and I was quite happy with that time, to be honest, with the time being allowed. So I knew it was going to be a long, you know, period of extra time. But you know, we've been very thin on bodies over the last 2 or 3 weeks, really. You know, you lose situations where you lose Kieran Murto, and you know, I know we have to move on from that. It was a big player for us, and then you lose Jay Davis on, you know, deadline day, and it was another blow to us. And then you find a situation which all clubs get. I'm aware of that, but you know, you lose Reece Noel and Adam Dall to suspension, and then you lose your captain before today, and all of a sudden, in a matter of 2.5 weeks, you lose 5 of your players when you're working on very, very small numbers. And you know, we've kept a great deal of dignity about the situation, been professional, not making excuses, but had boys who, as a rule, of a young age, apart from probably 3 or 4 of the lads, where you're going to ask them really to grow up really and come of, you know, an age of responsibility, and they've done that today. So, you know, we find ourselves now going to Ebbsfleet, and in our own hands, we need a point. Ebbsfleet are already in the playoffs now, and as I say, there's a great deal of respect between me and Liam Dace in respect to football managers. We know it'll be tough, whatever side Ebbsfleet put out, and Liam Dace should do what's right for his football club, like I've got to do what's right for ours. And you know, that's the nature of the game. We've got to take large numbers down there, but you know, I like to feel now that you know, we're confident we can get the result required. I'd like to have got it all done today, being fair, so that we could have went in a situation of the playoffs Tuesday week and been able to rest some players going into the next Saturday's game. Absolutely, there's no secret about that, you know. But we've got to go and do it, as I say.
And what is the news on Mark Ricketts? I spoke to him afterwards, and he said it's really just basically bruising.
Bruising, yeah. You know, it's too tender today. There's no doubt about that. But you know, there's no problem there. He will definitely be fit for Saturday. In the sense there, but it was too much to gamble today, and no disrespect to Weston. We thought that we had enough in the tank just to get through, and when I say enough in the tank, we must have been running on reserve. You know, it was that close to either a point today or 3, but it's the goal at the end here which will probably have the people, even though all our 4 goals today were of the high quality, but the goal at the end here will probably have people talking here for a long time. I think it's probably players like Clive Walker, the last ones who have that kind of execution to get a goal to keep the people down at Kingsfield talking.
Yeah, I was speaking to Andy Burgess after the game and asked him if he'd ever scored a better goal, and he didn't think he had. It was a quite majestic strike, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, he's that sort of player. Like, you know, I've always got on very well with Andy. Like, you know, I like to think I've got a lot of respect for myself, like I have him, and you know, I've fetched him to the club, and I've said to people over a period of time, he will become a big player for us between now and the end of the season. I think that's shown today in respect to the goal what he's got. But you know, yeah, it's a big result for us, and as I say, now we have that situation where we prepare ourselves now for going to Ebbsfleet on Saturday.
And as you say, Ebbsfleet, last game of the season, we need a point. Presumably you'd like to see supporters travel there in large numbers like they did against Farnborough.
Oh yeah, very much so. I think that you know, again, we will take large numbers down to Ebbsfleet next Saturday, and as I say, again, we've got to turn around and hopefully go and do our job, get the job done. It's in our own hands, and then it goes in straight away then from there onwards to the playoffs, and that's what we've got to look at.
Lovely, thank you very much, Gary.
Cheers.
Enjoy your evening.